All right, y'all. First and foremost, give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and the Son of Mashiach, who some call Yahweh Shai Yeshua, Yehoshua. We mostly know as Jesus Christ. We got another person alleged to be a victim of Pastor T.D. Jakes. Again, these are just allegations. People just throwing things out there. We don't know how true. We don't know if this is we don't know if there's any truth to this. But it's, proliferating throughout the internet. And we're going to speak on it. Some things that I see that are problematic with this testimony, in my opinion. But again, it's, who am I? I'm just here speculating on this testimony that this brother says he giving his allegations on, a situation he had with Pastor T.D. Jakes.
And we decided in one of the times he was there.
And I'm going to tell y'all this. This is a brother named Larry Reed Live on the right side. Larry Reed Live is his channel. His channel is basically about church gossip. Church pastors coming out. He himself is a church pastor, was a church pastor. He himself have dabbled into the alphabet community, or still dabbling in the alphabet community, has had these certain kinds of allegations on him of recent. And so he's going to put a lot of folks' business out there. And then a lot of people who get into certain situations, they come to his channel. All right. This brother is pretty powerful in there, in the black church. The black church loves him. And I told y'all, man, I think they love gay men in the black church.
It was going to be his birthday. I was able to convince my mother to let me drive her car, as I didn't have a vehicle.
They want Pastor Jakes to come down there on his birthday and celebrate his special day with them. I think that's problematic. You want me to come share my birthday with you and not share it with my family? That's what you asking me to do? Or is you just making up a birthday for him and pretending like it's his birthday, and y'all gonna have a dinner and birthday cake and all this stuff out there? That's it.
Jakes. And we decided in one of the times he was there, it was going to be his birthday. I was able to convince my mother to let me drive her car, as I didn't have a vehicle. I said, well, we're going to take him out to eat. I want to drive your car. And so we did. We took him out to eat. And it was decided after we were done taking him out to eat that I would be the person to take him back to his sleeping place, which at the time was.
It was decided that you going to take him back? Or you decided that you gonna take him back? Who is it was decided? Like, who's doing the deciding?
There was a lady named Sister Giles. She always wanted to house and take care of him when he came to that church. And so I came in there, drove him to eat, and then took him back.
It's just me, just looking at the body language and the blinking. It's a little flaming Cheeto there.
To her home.
Just me speculate. And apologies if that's not the case, but a man by consonants.
Well, after taking him back to her home, he says, come on in, let's talk. You can't even imagine being 18, 19 years of age.
Like when somebody do that, when men doing it's a little flame.
This person is killing it, and they're saying to you, come on in, let's talk. And so I did. I went in. We sat down at a very long dining room table.
And I'm going to tell you, that sister already knew. She already knew to let them be isolated. I'm going to house them here, and, I always house them here. And it's probably, I ain't going to get it. But she knew to leave them two brothers alone.
Table in a room that she had, and for 2 hours it was unbelievable. Pouring of heart, crying, him talking about my father, we talking about these scenarios, and I inwardly just knew I had finally found someone who could get it, someone who understood. I'm sitting at this table, and for the first time talking to any man, I got tears coming down my face.
Talking to any man, the man got me. He understand me. My family don't understand. My father don't understand. No women ever understood me. I'm sitting in front of this man, and this man just understands me to the point where I'm crying. Tears rolling down my face. I just never had that in my life. And I've had a lot of, Pauls, a lot of men in my life. Like a lot of coaches, a lot of mentors, a lot of uncles. But nobody, I never had no conversation like that with them. Unless they were going upside my head about something, chastising me, rebuking me, But never had it to the point where, he was trying to understand me and understand who my father, trying to know me to the point, and I'm so excited about this conversation, or so moved and through emotion through this conversation that I'm just bleeding out with tears.
Because somebody gets me.
Because somebody gets me. I ain't never experienced that. Never experienced that. But he read you. He read you like a book.
Somebody understood what I was going through. Well, after
understood what you were going through. What was it? Having these feelings and you couldn't nobody understood it because you couldn't come out. What was it that he figured out about you that nobody else could figure out? Why you just ain't tell him what was going on? Why somebody got to figure it out? Just tell him, hey man, I got this and this and this and this going on. Why don't you just tell him?
Sitting there and having this long discourse with him, I finally look at my watch and I'm like, oh my goodness, I got to go. I got to get this car back to my mother. She's going to kill me. So I said to Bishop, I got to get up. And I got up from the table. He got up from the table. He walked around toward the way I had to exit quicker than I got over there. And when I started to walk past him, he pulled me to himself, wrapped his arms around me and tried to kiss me. And in that moment, I literally died. I could not. I tell you, to this day,
I don't think Larry Reed believe him either. And who he's trying to, well, I ain't even gonna, but these allegations have been on that other brother, had on his brother also, and if these brothers were predators, I don't think Larry Reed believe him either. I think he knows what happened there.
I can't remember how I got out of that place. But I remember driving home with all kinds of crazy thoughts and what in the world am I going to do now? And I finally get home, get in the house, get in the bed. I'm going to try to go to sleep. And I get to sleep and get up in the morning. And in the morning, I step into our bathroom and my home phone rings. My mother answers the phone and she says to me, Wayne, it's Elder Jakes. And I get on that phone. And when I get on that telephone, I can hear water. He is sitting in a bathtub. And in that thing, he says to me, without any hesitation, there's 3 things I need you to do. The first one is, when I come to Pittsburgh, you're going to be the only person I sleep with. The second one is, you can't sleep with anybody else because I don't want to give my wife anything. And thirdly, I will take care of you the rest of your life.
I tried to dig up some things on this brother, trying to see where the motivation comes from. Really didn't find much. He does a lot of credit repair, get rich, entrepreneurship type stuff. So he chasing a bag. He been chasing that bag. But he's saying this was when he was, 18, 19 years old.
I can't to this day remember how I got off that phone, but I do know I made a decision that I wasn't going to the service that night.
And I'm gonna tell you what don't add up for me and what made me do the video, because in question and stuff, is that if you pulled away if you're alleging that TD Jakes grabbed you and tried to kiss you and that kiss didn't happen, and you pulled away and kind of ran out like you trying to make it seem, and you were just so discombobulated, he wouldn't have called you that next day. Like, I believe he's smart enough not to have called you and demanded, hey, you're going to do this, you're going to do this, and you're going to do this, if that's what happened. But if he did kiss you and y'all had that intimate moment and then you left, then that's what that call was about. Then that call makes sense. All right, you got to make it make sense. Then that call makes sense.
And eventually I told my mother, I'm not going to go to service tonight. She says, no. You know, we got a rule in this house. If we go, you go. I never told her what he had done. I went to church, and the most humiliating thing imaginable happened that night at church.
So y'all was out that Saturday night.
Bishop Jakes, getting up to preach, speaks into that microphone. I'm going to ask young minister Youngblood to read for me. And after all of that drama of the last 24 hours, I had to read before he preached.
He had already started lifting you up. I'm sure there was a lot of people there when he asked you to do that was jealous that he asked you to do that. He was already putting you in a position. That's why I wanted to look him up to see if he had got a church somewhere and was preaching somewhere and doing some ministering. But he had, what made him go on Larry Reed Live, 30 years later, 25 years later? What's the motivation here? And I know, stuff happens to people and they don't get their voice until later and so forth. I get it. I get that element of it too. And I'm not saying the brother's lying. I'm just saying, it just sounds, the story, the story got some holes in it, to me, in my opinion.
Kind of close with Bishop Jakes. And we decided.
Yeah, that was it. But pray this thing was edifying. What do y'all think, man? Y'all hit the comments. Is this it? Is this over with for Pastor Jakes? It was some other allegations that came out earlier in the year or late last year with the bishop, and they kind of seem like they done sputtered out. Nobody's really talking about it. So, to see another situation come up, I don't know the credibility that this particular story had. I know the other one, it was lawsuits and so forth, all of that stuff. Maybe, they were paid to go away. Who knows? Really haven't heard nothing else on that, but will this destroy TD Jakes' legacy? Will this destroy his legacy? All of these people coming out, having these allegations. Will he mess around and get caught up within the whole Diddy situation? Only time will tell, man. Pray this thing was edifying. Y'all be blessed. Shalom.